It is time to review the sequel that is kind of pointless. Let's admit, it kind of is pointless. It doesn't really have that much of a point. Like, let's just admit.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Got the chatter.
Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets. Ooh. So Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is the sequel to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the second movie into the Harry Potter franchise. In this movie, we see Harry go back to Hogwarts, but things are really going strange. Dobby goes to his house and he's like, Harry Potter must not go back to Hogwarts this year. And he's like, I ain't going with my I'm not going with my uncle and whoever. There's my aunt. I'm not leaving with them. I'm going. So he goes to Hogwarts, but things are just messing up. Everything's going bad. He's like, why? What is going on? We get this plot, and yeah, let's talk about it. So yeah, let's start out by saying something I forgot to say in my last review, but it applies to this review too. I forgot to talk about the actual characters in the movie. Like, I know it's not that huge of a deal, but I just mainly talked about the movie and how I enjoy it. But here, I can talk about it in Chamber of Secrets, so I'll start right off with this. The characters in this movie, and they're the same as the last one, pretty much. We have Professor Snape is one of the professors. You always see him as the mean, gruff professor, but he's kind of mysterious, he's kind of interesting. Then there's Dumbledore, who is just a wise old man stroking his long beard. He gets better later, honestly. But he is just this wise old man. You have Harry, the very likable, fun, person who has very strange abilities that he's still learning. He doesn't know exactly who he is, which is something I loved about the first one. And it translates into here, and I love that aspect of this movie. Then there's Hermione, who's not interesting. Okay, sorry. For those of you who like Hermione, I see why, but I don't like Hermione. Like, I think she is... I describe her. Well, in the first movie, she, after Ron says that she has no friends. No wonder she has no friends. No wonder she has no friends. And then she's just, like, really sad, like, sad and whatever. And then she goes into the bathroom and starts crying. That was pathetic. Sorry. I hated that part of the movie. But that was in the first one. And then here, she's less like that, but I just don't like Emma Watson as an actress, so I just don't like that. But yeah, those are the characters in the movie. That translates to the last movie. But anyway, I'm just going to start right off with saying I like this movie. Not as much as Sorcerer's Stone, and I don't love it, but I do think it is a good, likable, enjoyable, and fun movie that is way too long. Like, it's almost 3 hours, and I personally don't think it needs to be that long. It felt way longer. It felt like the beginning felt a lot farther ago than the end. Like, they felt very separated. But yeah. This movie is... I am actually going to say this movie is more interesting than The Sorcerer's Stone. Because the farther these movies go, I think every entry gets darker. Maybe Goblet of Fire... Goblet of Fire I'd actually say is darker than on Order of the Phoenix. Question me on the next one, but I do not think Goblet of Fire is as dark as Half-Blood Prince. Half-Blood Prince is dark! It's a dark movie. I can't wait to review that one. But this one is darker than the last one. They get darker and darker and darker and darker because the more you see Voldemort shaping, it gets darker and darker. I really like that aspect of the movie too. I think that's the thing with the books. But then this movie, it's darker than the last one, which is aspects I really like. And for the most part, the Chamber of Secrets plot, it has to come out with us a new plot. Because while it can't introduce more things about Hogwarts, it can't reintroduce all of Hogwarts. That's already been done in the last movie. And this movie really does set up, it's a new year, a new time. But what I do really like about this movie is that it is interesting. It is fun to watch this happen. Maybe it does slow down too much for me. Maybe I think a lot of it could have been cut out. I bet you they cut it a lot more than they should have from the book. But as it stands, this is more interesting than The Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah, I don't like it as much. Why? Because it's just interesting and fun to watch. Like, it's not really as... Also, a lot of things about this movie... Sometimes the acting is not that great. Like, a lot of the actors I don't think are that good. And a lot of the time it does slow down again. And you're just like, why is this here? Why is this in the movie? Why do I need to know this? But it does, and it doesn't really... I don't know if those scenes understood what made the first one so good. But then the scenes where it is about the Chamber of Secrets, well, it does slow down a bit. And eventually, I think it's the middle... I was just kind of like, I've kind of lost interest. Like, at the beginning, I was kind of interested. I was really interested in what was happening. Then in the middle, kind of loses me. The end, it picks up again, and I'm interested at the end of this movie. Because I really like the third act of this movie. It's very interesting. It's very fun to watch. It's very exciting. And this movie also has a lot more of a comedic touch. I laughed a couple of times when I was watching this movie. Actually, surprising to me. But I like this movie. I don't love it, but I like it. Guys, in the end, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a fun, interesting movie that I enjoyed watching. It isn't as good as the first. In fact, I don't know if it is going to be my worst in the franchise as I rewatch these. But currently, right now, it is lower than the Sorcerer's Stone easily. But I don't think this is a bad movie. I think this is a fun one, but I just don't like to rewatch it because it's 3 hours. And it doesn't really, the middle part is a bit too slow for me. But overall, I enjoy this movie. I will give Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets a solid 8. Dobby will always be perfect. Holy crap, I love Dobby in this movie. Of course you do. Dobby. Oh, I don't know. Dobby. It's Dobby. But he comes back later in the movies, and I love him when he comes back later. But yeah, I like this movie a lot. I rewatch it sometimes. See you guys next time. I don't have anything for the outro. Just more Harry Potter reviews happening. Bye. Oh, Grinch review tomorrow. Bye.